very good day to everybody. It is, of course, Friday Takeaway, and it's November 11th, 2016. As we speak, of course, I'm Khoo, Chuang, joined by Charlotte Chong, and what a day it is today because we're seeing emerging market currencies being sold off across the board. The Ringgit is at 4.49 to the dollar. Incredible.
It's about 4.52 when I last checked, and
That's
across the board, everything has dropped. Not just Ringgit, we look at Singapore dollar and also Chinese yuan as well. Everything has dropped massively.
In terms of where the Ringgit stands, 3.39 to the Aussie, 5.67 to the sterling. And of course, last night the South African rand was down, the Brazilian real was down, the Colombian peso was down, offshore renminbi, which is the Chinese yuan, also down. I think, of course, the Mexican peso has fallen off a cliff. All this is going to do, Charlotte, with the fact that with Donald Trump in the fray, the risk of curve, the risk of trade has really gathered steam.
I think it's a panic sell down. Everybody is panicking. Everybody wants to know, wants to buy more dollar, and a lot of people are focusing on what kind of fiscal reforms that Donald Trump is going to do.
Well, exactly, because Trump really stands for protectionism. He stands for, he's an enemy of free trade, he's an enemy of globalization. He's going to repeal the TPPA, the TITP in Europe. He wants to drive up walls across, he wants to impose tariffs on Chinese imports, he wants to impose tariffs on Mexican products. So the world really doesn't know where he stands, and I think that's one of the reasons why the emerging market currencies are being sold off.
But Chong, let me ask you, on Wednesday, when he got elected as president come January 20, are you surprised?
I wasn't surprised. You know why? Because as with Brexit, people underestimated the gravity of the pain that is being felt by the common people. We don't feel the pain, Charlotte, because we have, we've got reasonably high salaries. But the people in the working classes, the people who have lost their jobs, people in the car industry, the steel industry, the oil and gas industry, people who have lost their jobs to cheap Chinese imports in America, they all feel the pain. And when you look at the demographic of people who voted for Trump, it was all a sea of red in the central, in the middle of America. These are the guys who feel the pain.
But I think a lot of people actually didn't vote during that day on Wednesday. I think about 40% of young people, especially, they just gave up. They say, I don't want to vote because none of them are good.
Exactly, because Trump was seen as the Antichrist, and so was Hillary Clinton. But let's move on. But just to point out as well that of course gold as well is surging, and it's basically a flight to safe haven assets. We don't know whether the Federal Reserve will hike in December. We don't know whether even Janet Yellen will stay on beyond 2018 with her term ends.
Of course, Bank Negara Malaysia will probably say something in a press conference today because they are going to release some third quarter GDP today.
As it is, there's a rumor in the market that the central bank has stepped in to halt all trades in dollar ringgit. I just want to point on the Trump and the rise of the populist leaders. Now next year, Italy, France and Germany go to the polls. We might also see the rise of populist leaders like Marine Le Pen in France and so on and so forth. So it's all to play for now. In related news, of course, we also saw in India, the government surprisingly killed off the 500 rupee and the 1000 rupee bank. And we've talked about this in Just Sayings, Charlotte, because it was my show on the war on cash.
Yeah. So what happened in India is they say they will be able to exchange their existing notes with banks until December 30th. The reason why they are killing off 500 and the 1000 rupee bank is because they want to cut down
the shadow economy.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, illicit trade and
also
corruption.
Corruption.
Also, they say, but once the whole transaction goes online and people start doing things in a digital fashion, no one trade is ever able to escape the auspices of the authorities. Everything can be taxed. Everything can be made a commission income, and the banks will get so much more money. And that I think is the real reason.
But the thing is, it's going to be very difficult for the citizens because day-to-day transaction is used in 500 and 1000 rupee bank note. So what happened when they actually announced it? A lot of banks actually flock to the bank. A lot of people flock to the bank, and they get their 100 notes out from the bank.
Yeah, exactly. So of course that's another issue that is yet to be monitored in the world. Charlotte, one more thing that is also gripping global horizons is the fact that in China, Alibaba is having a very successful Singles Day. I think in the first 5 minutes, $1 billion of sales was recorded.
Yeah,
amazing.
So that was last year. And yesterday when I interviewed Lazada, right, they are doing the same thing. Alibaba basically bought over Lazada in April this year. So they are launching the same thing, 11/11, at midnight, 12 o'clock actually yesterday night.
Really?
So they are going to
So
roll
what's
out
up?
a lot of products.
Yeah?
But
What
they
kind of
didn't want
stuff?
to tell me because all the prices are not revealed yet
Really?
before 12 o'clock.
Fantastic. So e-commerce is a reality now.
It is, it
Amazing. Okay, quickly, let's move on to local stuff. And of course, in the property and construction sector, lots of developments. According to the news flow, Putrajaya is still studying the developer financing scheme for house buyers. Quite amazing that we're still considering this scheme, despite the fact that it might drive up a whole bunch of subprime borrowers.
But the argument here is government is considering many ways to help property buyer, and in budget 2016, Najib actually said that they are going to provide this step-up end financing scheme for first-time home buyer. So do you think it's actually contradicting with what Putrajaya is studying with to give actually property developers the right to borrow?
I think at the end of the day, home ownership is a big issue. I'm not so sure that's such a right thing, because if you can't afford a home, don't buy a home. Rent is a lot cheaper. Okay, let's move along to the stock market. And of course, at 10 a.m., we are down by 18 points, trading at 1,635 points. On a one-year-a-date basis, we've lost 2%, but just up 1 and a bit percent on a 12-month basis. So, very quiet markets, very cautious markets. I think people don't really know what to do with the Trump presidency. It's all very bizarre.
Actually, research houses came out with reports saying that Asian markets will remain soft, but we see a lot of fluctuation in currencies. Just now when we look at it
massive
this morning.
risk-off trades.
Massive sell-off.
Okay.
Like KLCI actually took a nosedive after Donald Trump got elected as president. It actually fell some 16.2 points.
Incredible. Okay, just very quickly on the commodity markets as well. West Texas crude is at $44, Brent is at 45, and of course gold is at $1,266 per ounce. Now there's this huge flight to safe havens as we were discussing earlier, so of course that's an ongoing story. In terms of specific stocks, Charlotte, another Trump issue, because both TA Global and TA Enterprise, this is a story written in the Edge actually, because TA Global is developing a tower in Canada, which is for Trump International Hotels. Amazing.
Yep, I have friends actually working in TA Global. They are very excited about this news.
Incredible.
And they say definitely stocks will surge after Trump, got elected as the 45 or 46th president.
Correct. So, TA Global was 22.5 cents last week. Today is at 26 cents. There's a 16% change on the week. TA Enterprise a week ago was 45.5 cents. Today they're at 48.5 cents. It's a 7% increase. Fantastic.
And that's because speculation that TA Global could even secure more jobs from Trump. And one broker actually say that when your business partner is the US president, it's very rare and a powerful connection. That's why we saw the share surge yesterday.
Yeah, it's like knowing Najib like a million times, right? Okay. The other stock that was in the news was EcoVest. Now, of course, they have sold a 40% stake in the holding company which owns the Kasturi Highway, which in other words is this East Coast Expressway that's going to be built. They've sold 40% to the EPF. I think they're going to bank about 1.1 billion ringgit from it, of which they'll pay 22% in a dividend of about 245 million ringgit to shareholders. And that's why the stocks rose.
Now the news is also on them wanting to list their infrastructure arm. They're going to have another 2 highways coming up, Duke number 2 and Duke number 3. Duke number 2 will be ready by the end of this year. Duke number 3 will be ready by the end of 2020.
That's right. So unlike the UK, we've got 3 dukes in the country. So fantastic news. Of course, the biggest beneficiary of this dividend will be Tan Sri Lim Kang Khoo. He's the executive chairman. He's going to bank about 79 million ringgit, so that's not a bad day's work for him. And of course, the IPO might raise 500 million US dollars. That's amazing.
That's
fantastic dollars.
That's a lot to actually bump up the the Bursa Malaysia and also the equity market in Malaysia, because this year the equity market has been very bad.
It's been moribund. So of course a week ago Ecovast was at 225, today they're at 257. That's a 14% gain. That's not too bad. Okay, next week, before we go to next week, today Q3 GDP gets reduced at 4 o'clock, you're saying, Charlotte?
Bank of Malaysia is going to have a press conference to release that.
That's
and also IPI is coming out today as well.
That's right. So we expect a pretty good mark for Q3 GDP. Next week, a clutch of corporate earnings happening.
And also Tuesday, we will see Tan Chong third quarter, when I say Ta'an, and also KL Kepong fourth quarter. Thursday, we will see Media Primo third quarter.
That's right. A lot of things happening in the market today, and of course around the world. If you want more for updates and in terms of developments around the world, go to theedgemarkets.com, or for hard copy evidence, The Edge Weekly, of course available in all good newsstands, and The Edge Financial Daily.
And of course, happy Singles Day, happy shopping, peeps.
Yes, of course. Are you like revealing your
Lazada? Right. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. Good night and good luck.